Hello everyone, welcome back to another Maya 2015 tutorial. We're been working on our elf here, and in our past lesson we got the elf's torso started. We got it prepared to receive a leg appendage that we'll have to create. So what we're going to do is we're going to create another cylinder. I'm not going to try extruding off this to make anything. We're going to start with another piece of geometry to create the leg here. The way the leg is in the front here, we're going to have to kind of adapt a little bit the way that's kind of just going completely diagonal here. Um, we don't really want that. It's not going to work for setting it up for animation. We want it to be more of a straight down sit stance. So we'll have to alter this image a little bit when it comes to modeling it. This side view will be quite helpful though. So let's go ahead and create ourselves a new piece of geometry. So we're going to create ourselves another cylinder. So create polygon primitives and cylinder. Okay, just drops right on in there. That's good. I'm just going to move it off to the side a little bit. Down. I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of the caps. Got them both selected there. Go ahead and hit delete. Okay. Now I want to jump into my 4-panel view. Just press spacebar and it'll pop you into your 4-panel. I mainly want to work from the side view to begin with, so I'm going to jump into this view. Okay. And for here, I'm going to go ahead and grab this first set of vertexes down here, and I'm going to drag them down towards the area. Okay. These ones I'll grab up and kind of situate out here. Scale the pouch just a little bit. Don't try to match the width here, because we need to actually rotate this set of vertexes up here to be able to slide into where the hip socket is going to be. So don't try scaling these out to fit. That's going to be something we're going to have to alter here in a little bit once we get this shaped. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and shrink this down to where it fits the knee. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to edge mode, and we're going to select all these edges down here. But we don't want these middle edges here, so I'm going to hold down Control and left mouse button drag and deselect those ones. Okay, so now we have just this loop at the bottom selected. Okay, I'm going to hit extrude, and now I'm going to go down a little bit. Oops. If your extrude function is acting a little funny, click this little power symbol looking thing. That'll flip it from local to global and make it to where it behaves a little better. Okay. Hit G again. And this time I'm going to take this one. Oops. Again, I have to click this little power symbol. Okay. I'm just going to take it down to the ankle here. Scale that. Okay. That's looking okay. Now I need to add in some edge loops so that I can actually capture the shape of this leg. So my edge loop tool is right here. Again, if you guys don't have it on your shelf, you should add it to your shelf. If you guys, I'm not going to go through it every single time and go through the drop down, so you guys will just go to the mesh tools and find it if you don't have it on your shelf. Okay, so go ahead and drop one in here. And let's go ahead and make sure that insert with edge flow is turned off. Insert with edge flows, good for doing organic stuff, especially faces and hands. It won't disrupt your geometry. It won't make it to where it flattens out your geometry, makes it look hard. But when we're at an early stage like this, it kind of messes with things. So make sure this is turned off. Go ahead and close this out. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to scale this part here out. Okay, that's good. Go ahead and drop in another edge loop. Go ahead and check this one, see how that's looking. Okay, that's where it needs to be on one side. Okay, let's check the kneecap. That's pretty close. If you're uncertain, you can always zoom in by hitting F. That'll frame it. Get a little closer look. Okay. And don't worry about like how this kneecap looks in the front. We're going to use some extrusions to add the look that will capture what the kneecap is supposed to look like. Right now, we're just trying to block in the shape. Okay. That works. Now we need to capture the calf muscle here. Now we can't really do what we did before with the calf muscle. This needs to be done a little bit differently. Since the front of the shins is very flat and kind of curves inward and the calf curves outward. So we'll put one right here. And I'm actually going to go to vertex mode. I'm going to select these vertexes right here. And I need to turn on soft select. So I'll double click my move tool, scroll down to soft select. 5 is still way too much. Let's go down to 1. Okay. And we'll go ahead and start bringing this out. Capture that curvature. That was good. Go ahead and grab the front. Drag that forward a little bit. Take this one, curve it down a little bit. That's good. And bring this one up. Okay. This helps capture some of the edge flow. It doesn't create the knee that we're going to be making here in a little bit. We're going to make a little bump using some extrusions, but this will help with the geometry flow into it. Having complete straight lines when it comes to organic stuff gives you an unnatural look. So having these curving type lines makes it look a little more natural. Okay. Okay. Keep in mind what we're working with is a sketch here, so you know some things you're going to have to use some creative license on. Some things won't translate. Just go ahead and drop in another edge loop here. Okay. And I'm going to go back to vertex mode and push this part here in a little bit. Oops, need soft select back on. Okay. That's looking pretty good. That's okay. We need another edge loop here to help round in the ankle, and probably one more up here to help define the calf a little bit better. Okay. Back to vertex mode. Go ahead and push this part here in a little bit. Okay. And we'll pull this part down here out. Okay, and we'll do the same thing at the front. Push this part here in, and then we'll pull the bottom part out. Okay. Alright, and then the calf probably just needs one more edge loop just to help with around it here. Now if you're using this for game, this may end up giving you a bit more geometry than you want to deal with. If that's the case, you could always reduce your geometry by removing some edge loops, which will have to be done like the extra edge loops we're using to define this, we'll have to do in order to reduce your poly count. So instead of going like, not taking these vertical lines out, these horizontal ones, just decide which ones are unnecessary. You can use other programs like Mudbox and ZBrush to add in some extra definition and curvature. But this will help us blocking our model. Okay, so that's looking pretty good from the side view anyways. Now we need to go ahead and adjust it to the front view. And since we have this angle here, we're going to have to adjust our leg to be able to work with this. So let's go ahead and jump into our front view. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, we're going to rotate this a little bit. So I'm going to go to object mode, select the whole thing. I'm going to rotate it a little bit on its side. Okay. Translate it over so it kind of fits. Okay, so realize since I did this, it's no longer going to look correct from the side view because as we angle things off, it just won't look right. Pop over here, you can see how things are kind of somewhat tilting off, aren't necessarily all lining up anymore. But that's okay, we can still work with this. Also, when we're done with it, if we want, we can always rotate it back to 0 and Z. That'll make it to where we are back in shape with the way it started. Okay. So back to our front view here. Okay, so let's go ahead and start shaping this, make sure this looks correct. Okay, let's go to edge mode. The scale tool may not help us too much here, but we'll go ahead and use as much as we can. Probably turn soft select off would be a good practice until we need it. Okay. Oh, I don't want to actually use scale tool now that I think about it. If I'm scaling this all together, it's going to mess with my side view I've already done. So I need to actually use vertex pushing. So we'll use vertex pushing and we'll leave soft select on. That way we're not messing with what we did from the side. So these front vertexes we don't want scaling together. Okay, and 11 is definitely too much. Let's do 2. Okay, and we'll just push in slightly on each side. Pull over here. Okay. Push in there. Over here. Okay, we'll do the same thing on this side. Okay. Also, something to keep in mind: this whole clothing looking thing that's going on here, we're going to deal with that later. We're not dealing with that right now. So don't try making your edge flows follow with this curvature of our clothing. That's going to be handled after we finish doing all the base modeling. Okay. And adjust this part here. Adjust this side of the cap over here. And then I have to go ahead and pull this back in again because the soft select is adjusting things. We could dial this soft select down to say 1.5. I'm not doing so much back and forth on this thing. Okay. There we go. That actually works a lot better. Okay. This part of the cap looks okay. This part needs to come in quite a bit. A little bit on this side. Okay, let's bring this down to 1. Okay, so that looks pretty good. It's lined up pretty well with the ankle. We're starting to see some twisting going on here. You can see how these vertexes, you see the edge behind them. That's okay, that's going to happen because the calf isn't the same as the shin, so it should look a little different. Just be aware of that as we're moving forward. Okay. I'm not going to deal with this top part here yet because I want to rotate my leg to fit the socket. So this whole part here, I'm going to deal with myself. I'm not going to rely on the reference image. So don't get hung up on this top part here. Don't try twisting it to fit this this hip here. We're going to deal with that in a little bit. Okay. All right. So the next thing we want to do is we want to deal with this foot here, and this foot, and it's going to be another little bit of an animal since it's twisted, like I said. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to capture the ankle, and then I'm going to do the foot from the side view. This is the only way it's going to make sense. If I do it from this view, I'm not going to be, this is like giving me some perspective where it's getting bigger in the front and smaller in the back, but it's not giving me the right angle. This actually isn't even accurate, I don't think. It looks like she's almost on her tippy toes. So if it was more natural, it actually would have been more flattened out, I believe. Unless her toes extended, then that might make a little bit more sense. But I'm just going to capture this ankle part here, and then I'm going to go to the side view to finish off the foot. Okay, so back to my regular view here. I'm going to go back to edge mode, select these bottom edges, deselect the vertical ones, and then I'm going to run my extrude tool again. And this one is going to go down, flare it out just a little bit. Oops. And as you can tell, this side of the ankle over here needs to come down a little bit, so I'm going to go back to my vertex mode. I'll select these guys here. Make sure soft select's on. And I'm just going to drag this part here down to match this. Let's drag this one down to match this. And then I'm going to create this down part of the knuckle of the ankle. Okay, back to edge mode, double click this part, take off soft select. I'm going to extrude this down. Okay, that was good. Alright, let's go ahead and scale this together. Alright, that looks okay. Alright, so this is where I'm going to stop from the front view. I'm going to have to go back to my side view. I'm actually going to adjust this and hopefully tweak it to where it's more straight up and down, not so much from the side. So I'm going to be pretty much done with the leg from the front view from here on out. Okay, so let's see if we can adjust this to where it looks correctly. You see how it's already kind of angled to one side with the knuckles. I'm going to have to fix this a little bit. That's okay. We can do that. Okay, so let's go this perspective view here and try to rotate this in this direction. Okay, so just go ahead and I think zeroing that out is going to make it too straight up and down. It has to have a little bit of a slant, but it's not as much as you see in that front reference image. Okay. That looks about right. Okay, and since we had this ankle kind of all flared out to the side, I actually have to fix this bottom part here because it's off to one side too much, which isn't a big deal. I can handle that. Just select these bottom vertexes, rotate them a little bit, and then just translate them over towards, makes it to where her foot would be more straight up and down. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, let's go to the side view now, and let's go ahead and tweak it a little bit from the side view. Oops, that's the front view still. Side view. There we go. Okay, so this is a situation where it's in the front view doesn't necessarily line up with the side view, so we're going to have to decide what we want to do here. I can just take what we have here and maybe just scale, translate it up, and just scale them together. That captures the ankle still. Just change the geometry a little bit. I know this seems like a little bit of pushing and pulling. It's just what happens when you have reference art that isn't necessarily perfectly orthographically matched, which is what we got here. And that's okay, as long as we know that's what's going on, and we're able to take some creative license and fill in the blanks, which I believe everyone is able to do as long as you're patient. Okay, so now we're ready to capture this foot here. Let's go ahead and go to edge mode again. I'm going to grab this part here, and we're going to extrude straight down. Now I know that what you're thinking is like, what, straight down? But what about this part of the foot? We're going to get there, so be patient. Let's see. We'll flare it out a little bit, but then we're going to go down from here. So hit G. Hit G again. Okay, and she's got these heels, but I think I can handle that myself. Or the little lift part here, I can handle that myself. Okay, so let's say, let's just do one more small extrusion here. Okay. Make sure I use that scale tool to flatten it out. I want the bottom edge to be pretty flat. Okay. Now, I'm going to use faces on the front here to extrude out the toe of this. That's how I want to handle that. And I'm going to go ahead and lower this part now. Okay, that's okay. Let's go ahead and deal with the bottom part of the foot, because the bottom part of the foot right now You know, I think that having this many edges actually is a waste of geometry. Um, yeah, I'm going to remove one edge loop. First, I'm going to take this part here out. If you guys feel like you want to keep it for some reason, it's your model, do what you want. But if you want to get rid of it, I have on my shelf that says delete edge vertex. You'll find this underneath edit mesh, and then you'll see delete edge vertex underneath edge. And that'll just take out your entire edge loop. Some of you who are new to Maya might be like, why don't I just hit delete with your edge loop selected? Because my edge loop disappeared, and it will delete your edges, but it doesn't take away the vertexes. It'll leave behind the vertexes from your edge loop, which will turn all of these polygons here into n-gons. And if you're trying to keep in quads, that's going to be a problem, especially if you're using edge loops, because this will stop your edge loops from going around. So that'll make some problem geometry for you. It's just standard practice, so just trust me. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to take a look at the bottom here. Remember how we have this as hollow? Okay. What we want to do is we want to bridge this so that this is actually not hollow. So we want to go to edge mode. The way the bridge tool works is that to bridge something, you have to have the equal number of edges on the other side selected. So we're looking at our foot here, and right now it's still a little white. So let's widen this up so we can kind of visualize what we're going to be looking at as far as a foot goes. I mean, this looks more like a horseshoe at the moment. So let's go ahead and widen this up so it looks more accurate to a heel, I think. Let's go with those. And we'll turn soft select back on, and that way when we scale these apart, we get a little bit more of a natural looking heel. Okay. And also, this is more the narrow part of the foot, but we do want it to be scaled apart. So like that should be okay, I think. We can always alter this a little bit later on, but this will just give me a better representation of what I'm trying to achieve when I do my bridge. And I could always fix this later, but this just lets me know how many edges I want to keep from this front view here. So I want to keep what I think is probably these 4 edges right here. So on the back, I want to also, I'm gonna have to keep those 4 edges as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select that one, and then I'm going to select corresponding edges on the back. Okay, so I can go ahead and bridge across this way. That would probably be the harder of the ways to do it, though. So I'm going to actually do it the other way. So I'm going to hold down Shift. What I'm trying to do now is do inverse selection. So I'll deselect the ones I just selected and select all the other long ones unlengthwise doing this. So down Shift, and now you see that it deselected the ones on the bottom there. And to get rid of these vertical ones I just created, I'll just hold down Control. Again, a little marquee box. Deselects those. So now I have the long length of edges. It's just saving me a little bit of work. Okay. So now I'm ready to run my bridge tool. So I'll just select my bridge tool, run that, goes straight across. Okay, so we're not quite done yet though, because that just made one single face going across. We want these faces to be able to run in underneath the foot. So looking at this, I have this edge here, this edge here. So to make a polygon, I need to have one edge that comes out and runs through the front here. Same deal over here. I got one edge here, one edge here. I need the same line that goes through here, and that'll make a polygon here, and I'll have 2 face loops. So I need to go to my channel box where it says divisions. That's the last tool we just ran. I'm going to add 1 division. Okay. Good so far. Same thing over here. That works. All right. Now, are we done yet? No, we're not done yet. We still have 2 holes on both sides that we need to fill. So we're going to introduce another tool, so object mode here. We're going to use what's called append to polygon. Now you can find this tool underneath your edit mesh. Underneath your mesh tools. So the very top here says append to polygon. I have it on my shelf. All the tools I use are on my shelf. If you see them here, you should have them there on your shelf as well. This helps speed up your workflow. Okay. So I'll select append to polygon. I'm going to select Oops. Now, with the pen to polygon is what will happen when this is activated is the edges that you can use to get this little target reticule. It'll replace your mouse pointer, and the glowing edges of the empty holes. You just click on one of them, and it'll give you these purple arrows. Now, what it's looking for is which edge do you want to select to complete the polygon. So we're looking for 4 sides. So I wouldn't want to select this one over here. I'll make a triangle. I want to select this edge over here as opposite of it. So I'll click on that one, and you'll get this pink box. That is saying, is this what you want? Is this okay? If you're happy with it, go ahead and hit enter. Excuse me. Okay. Completed that polygon. Okay, so we can go and click on that button again, or if you hit the G key, it'll repeat the last command, which was the append to polygon tool. So I'll hit G, repeat the last command, select this edge here, select the edge on the other side, and hit enter. Okay. Excuse me again. Alright, so we're going to go same deal down here. Hit G, select one edge, select this edge, hit enter. Okay. One more time, hit G, select this top edge, select the bottom edge, hit enter. Okay, so now the bottom of the foot is filled in. Good. Looking good. Alright, we're at 26 minutes, so we're getting pretty long here. This is where we'll have to stop this lesson. In the next lesson, we'll go ahead and finish up the foot, and then we will attach it into the torso, and we'll keep moving along this project. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson.